your hands together for the very funny Taylor Amarante! I tried to think, what would a country music song sound like if a Portuguese guy sang it? Right? Maybe a love song, or maybe he met someone at the Portuguese Hall. Driving around looking for love, and I stopped at the Portuguese Hall. She was a Portuguese girl with curly dark hair, smelled like buffaloes with a nice dirty hair. She told me she could cook, and I said, wait right there, I think I found me my Portuguese wife. It probably sounded a little something like that, right? Or maybe you get to those country singers who push the envelope a little bit. You know, I'm just a Portuguese man. I got my linguiça in my hand. And there's no pun intended with that, unless you're down. When I go to a show, and I stop off at my grandma's house with my ava, right? My cute little 5'5" ava, right? 5'5" with heels, of course, right? 5'5" with brown eyes. I love her to death. We love our grandparents, right? And I always tell her, Paul, tonight I have a show. I'm going to a show. And she always goes, where's the show, Taylor? And today I said it's in Modesto. And she, as the Portuguese people call it, Modesto. She's like, oh, Taylor, Modesto, why do you go so far, Taylor? With this bad weather. I was like, about 73 degrees. There's literally birds with sunglasses on right now flying over. Oh, I know. Okay, wait a minute. And then she disappears, right, to the back room. Nobody ever knows what she's doing back there. Sometimes she comes out with a snack, right? Obviously my favorite approach. Or sometimes she comes out with something else, like maybe a cross or a rosary, right? But this time she came out with a nice little St. Anthony medallion. And she gave it to me to keep me safe on my trip, right? How many of you guys ever received a little medallion to keep you safe? So nice. So I put it in my suitcase, and now I have 7 St. Anthony's in the suitcase. So when I was driving up here, I took the carpool lane, right? God pulled me over. I was like, dude, it's not just me. I got 7 St. Anthony's back here. Right? Called beer. Isn't it weird that in Portugal and the Azores, one of our best dishes is called green soup? It's so funny. It's like in Italy, you have the fettuccine alfredo, huh? Right? In France, you have the escargot. But in Portugal, come on down, we're serving green soup. Hey, go ahead and stir that around. If you find the little piece of linguiça at the bottom, it's like finding a prize in a Cracker Jack box. Oh, look. Oh, tem duas. Oh, today's my day. Today's my day. At that very moment, I realized Portuguese and Azorian people, we all have one major thing in common. We are all nervoso, right? Give it up if you're a little bit nervoso. That lady right there is too nervosa to even give it up. Por que esta coisinha quer saber se eu sou nervoso ou não? Vai vir Santo. I don't think so. You're not gonna trick me. Like, I'm not nervous. I'll never be as nervous as my mom and my grandparents. But then one day you're hanging out with your white friends. Or as your parents call them, teus amigos americanos. Or as my grandparents call them, os crazies. Let's go get some drinks. Let's drive up to my parents' lake house. Let's party all night, and we'll come back in the morning. Pretty easy, right? But for some weird reason, my mind went to a very dark Portuguese place. It was like, shore. And then I interpreted it as, holy crap. We're gonna get white boy wasted. We're gonna drive under the influence up to this guy's lake house. We're gonna drive directly into the lake and die. And since we're staying until the morning, no one's gonna find us until the morning. Já estamos mortos. And then I said, holy I'm nervous. Right? What does she do? She immediately changes up her mood because she thinks that ambulance hasn't decided who it's gonna pick up yet. Oh my gosh, Maria, one moment, Maria. Oh my gosh, Maria, it's an ambulancia. I hope it's not coming to pick up my querida neighbor. Oh my God, my favorite pizza. PFES, right? So the sounds, right? She gets so nervous when they it sounds. It's crazy. I tried to calm her down. I'm like, "Oh, those sirens aren't for you. You won't hear those sirens when they're for you." I realized when you're on these planes, it's always the same group of characters that are on these flights to the Azores, right? You've got a couple different groups, right? One group, you've got your family, right? You've got your mom, your dad, a couple little kids running around flicking their boogers everywhere, right? Can't say anything to them. And then they have a vlog with them, dressed head to toe in black, super nervous, right? She goes through the terminal, "This might be my last flight." I'm always like, "Wait a minute, I'm on this flight." You can't say things like that. You're gonna get on those rosary beads. So you got your families, right? And then you got your young couples, right? Like the boyfriends and the girlfriends. And we live in America, right? And now finding a 100% Portuguese young couple, it's just not as common as it once was. So you got these Portuguese boyfriends hosting these non-Portuguese girls for a trip to the Azores. Or the Portuguese girls with non-Portuguese boys. I like to call this trip the "I love you, but do you love the Azores" trip. You hear them trying to fill them in. You got that flight. You got 9 hours to get them filled in, because once they get there, it's going to be a surprise. Right? So I've seen that trip will make or break a relationship. I've seen it. I've freaking seen it. It's true. God, that hits home. So you're in there, you're on the plane, you get settled. It's really hard to finally be seated because you know everybody on the flight. It's like a fashion in the sky, right? It's like, "Oh, there's João. Hey, João. There's other João. What's up, other João? Hey, there's little João. What's up, little João?" Everybody's shaking hands. You have to introduce your family. It's like, "Oh, this is Manuel, Maria, Maria. This is Manuel, this is Maria. Manuel, Manuel, Maria, Manuel. Oh, Shalaki, this is a good flight, huh? No, senor, huh? They take care of us." Portuguese people think because you're close to Jesus while you're flying, he's going to take good care of you. It's probably easier to snatch you right out of the sky, actually. And it's the pilot, and he wants to welcome everybody, right? He's got that real silky smooth voice, right? So he comes on. "Senhoras e senhores passageiros, bem-vindo a bordo da internacional. Por favor, preste sua atenção às informações e ilustrações que seguem." Right away, my great aunts are like, "Oh, that sounds nice. The pilot sounds nice." It's like, I don't care if he sounds nice, I just hope he knows how to fly. Right? So as if he didn't impress my great aunts enough already, that same guy comes on in English, right? And has that really sexy, like telenovela, like steal your wife right off the plane kind of English. Where he puts S's on words where they don't exist. So he comes on. "Ladies and gentlemen, passengers, good mornings. And welcome aboard SATA International. Please pay your attentions to the following informations and illustrations about the flight." Right away, everybody's like, "Oh, eu falo English." I'm always in there like, if you're flying an aluminum tube around the world, you better follow a little bit English. Because there's going to be a time where you're flying a plane, and then another plane's coming right at you, right? The Portuguese pilot puts on his headphones like, "Falas português." And then the other pilot's like, "No, do you speak English?" "Okay." Things might have worked out if you follow a little bit English. You're on the flight, the pilots have done that part, then they want to come on and introduce themselves. Because we need to know their first, middle, and last name. Because Portuguese names are like 6 names, right? So the pilot comes on. "Ladies and gentlemen passengers, this is your pilot, Captain Mario Luís Silva Simas Serpa. And flying with me tonight is my co-pilot, Leonardo Emanuel de Jesus. Thank you for flying." Right away, the nervous lady is super excited. Somebody named Jesus is flying the plane. She's in the corner like, "Oh, eu agora estou mais calmo. O Jesus is flying the plane." If something happened on the flight and the news talk about the flight, o Jesus levou nós. So our pilot comes back on. "Ladies and gentlemen passengers, we are 240 miles west of Lages Airfield in Terceira, where it is 71 degrees Fahrenheit with little to no wind. Thank you for flying SATA." Right away, I start tripping out because when have you ever been in the Azores and there's been little to no wind? I'm I'm like, wait a minute, sometimes I wish those pilots would come on and they would be as honest with us as possible, right? Just let us know what's really going on, right? All of a sudden, everybody's freaking out in the plane. Instead of masks, rosaries are coming down. You're like, no, help yourself and then help the child. Easy way to tell who the Brazilian men are at a Portuguese festa. And it's because they're the guys who are dancing with your girlfriend when you go to the bathroom. Right? Right? Am I right? So you're at a festa, you never like to go to the bathroom at a festa anyways, right? The seat's always wet, everything's all crazy in the bathroom, right? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about? So you go to the bathroom, you're like, oh man, I gotta go to the restroom. You know, I don't want to leave this festa, there's so many Brazilian guys here, my girlfriend's here. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten the corn spit. I'm gonna go número dos, I gotta do it. So you go into the bathroom, right? You get in there, I'm not gonna do a weird bathroom scene, guys, don't worry. You get in there, you sit down, you get relaxed. All of a sudden you hear something in the distance. Nossa! Wait a minute. Oh my God, is that Chipegu? Oh my God, Chipegu, my girlfriend's out there. Is Brazilian Chipegu? Oh. So you know what you do? You scramble, right? You get it done. You come outside. You're looking around, I'm gonna spare you the details over there, right? You come outside, you look around, you're like, where's Stephanie? Where is she? There she is, sure enough, in the corner. She's over there dancing with this Brazilian guy because he wants to show her how to do the dance, right? I look, I'm like, Stephanie, get over here. Come here. She gets over here. I'm like, what are you doing, dance? Who is that guy? She's like, oh, don't worry about that. That's Joãozinho. I'm like, Joãozinho, that guy is 6'3". Why is he called Joãozinho? So all of a sudden, him and I lock eyes, right? And he sees me, I'm like, get over here, João, whatever, right? And they never walk over to you, they always kind of dance to you because their hips aren't attached to their waist, for some of you guys, you know? It's like, I'm like, get over here, man. I'm like, listen here, João. He's like, it's Joãozinho. I'm like, listen here, regular size João. Don't let me catch you cheap hand with my lady one more time. Anyway, so my grandpa, he always tells me in secret, he goes, Taylor, your sister married a good guy. Okay, great guy. Okay, não é português, was a great guy. Your brother, he married a wonderful girl. Oh, wonderful girl. Não é português, was a wonderful girl. And I always tell my grandpa, I'm like, he goes, well, look, Portuguese women, they're fantastic, okay? They cook, they clean, they take care of their husbands. And I always go, whoa, what about this? What about this, bro? And he tells me, hey, Taylor, olha. Whenever he says olha, it's serious, right? Olha. I'm 94 years old. I haven't heard anything since I was 70. But I can still taste all of my meals, Taylor. And he wants to be able to tell them, I have a Portuguese grandson who married a Portuguese girl. They bought a Portuguese house in a Portuguese neighborhood with Portuguese fruit trees. And now they have made this Portuguese great-great-grandson that I have for you here today. And then he wants to grab him out of the cart, and all of a sudden, lifts him up, and it's the Lion King moment. He grabs it. He gets ready to do it. He's like, here it is, guys. I know you're jealous because of your multiracial grandchildren.